Hello students, last day we have completed one part of the reproductive health, that is just the introduction and a little about census and demography. Today we are going to discuss the next part, that is the methods of contraception. Now what are those contraception? See what happens in India, the countries developing countries like India, population explosion is a very huge problem. So that's why lots of different types of varieties of devices or different pills and injections they are available, so that it can control pregnancy, and this way the population can be controlled to a little extent. So what are the methods of contraceptions we will discuss in this video. So let's just start with the video. First of all, what are the contraceptive measures? The contraceptive measures should have some criteria, then only we can call this is a good contraceptive. So what are actually those contraceptives? See, the contraceptives are some devices, and those devices actually should be used by the individual, the male and the female, both of them or any one of the individual, so that the process of fertilization can be prevented. So this type of devices, this should be used by the individuals to control fertilization, or in simpler word we can call that it should to control pregnancy or fertilization without hampering the normal reproductive life. So it should not affect the reproductive health without affecting the reproductive health. Now just see the next important point. See, what are the main definition of the contraceptives? These are actually the devices. These devices are used by both male or the female or both of them, and it should control actually the process of implantation, fertilization or pregnancy. But one thing, very important thing about the devices, that it should not hamper the reproductive health. So let's just see what are these different types of criteria to be called as a proper contraceptive. So first thing, that this contraceptive should be easily available. So first thing, that easy availability. So first thing, just see what happened to the country in India. What happened? Maximum population are living in the different villages, and those villages actually have very less development. So that's why to the different families, to the different couples, it is not possible that the different devices, contraceptive devices we are talking, they are not able to be reached. So that's why what happened in the villages, actually the population is very huge. In a family there are 6-7 children are also being sick. So that's why to remote areas also that should be easily available. So this is a very important criteria of the contraceptive. Second criteria, that it should be reversible. Reversible means whenever the that couple stop taking the contraceptive, then they should gain, or they should get actually back their reproductive normal health. Then we can call that it is a good contraceptive. Suppose the individuals, the partners, they're taking the contraceptive for suppose some period of time, and after that they stop using it because they need a child, suppose. Then after that, if suppose without using those contraceptives also they are not able to get their reproductive health, then what happened? We are not able to call that this is a good contraceptive actually. So that should be be reversible, so that once that couple stop using the contraceptive, they should get the normal reproductive health once again. Third thing, that should have very less side effects, or they should not have any side effects. So just see what happened whenever those contraceptives are used by the female or the male. Then what can happen? Lots of changes that occur in the body physically. So what is happening in the female body? Lots of injections or the pills are injected so that they can prevent the process of fertilization or pregnancy. So what happened? Those hormones or those chemicals, if it is used by the female, then what can happen? It hampered the normal physiology of the body actually. So those chemicals, those contraceptives basically contain some steroids, and steroids, we know that they have side effects. So what happened in case of contraceptive? They should not have any type of side effects, or if the side effects are there also, the side effects should be very, very less. Yes, if suppose some external devices, some type of devices are used, obviously there will be a side effect, but that side effect should not be a major side effect. So this is a very important criteria of a contraceptive. The fourth criteria, it should be very, very much effective. What happen if suppose that partner, the male and the female, they are using suppose some type of contraceptives, but after using it also the meeting of male and female had occurred, then we cannot call that this is a effective contraceptive. Yes, obviously that contraceptive should be effective. That means that one must be ensured that that individual, if they are taking some contraceptive or that contraception method, they should not actually get pregnant, or they should not have the meeting of male and female gamete. So these are the criteria of a proper contraceptive, that it should have easy availability, and obviously this is also important point, that this should actually cost less. So this contraceptive, if the price is very high, then a lot of people, they will not able to buy it. So that's why the government and non-government NGOs also, they're providing those contraceptive at free of cost also, and with a very minimal price also. So this type of criteria should be present in case of a proper contraceptive. Now after that, let us see the different methods for contraceptions. So what are those methods? See, first of all, we will discuss the different type of methods of contraception one by one. So first type of method, first contraceptive method is the natural method. So in the natural method, what is happening? There are no devices, no device or any type of hormones, pills, nothing is used. Just by understanding the normal physiology, the individual or that partners, they will able to get their main thing, that they can prevent fertilization. So what are those natural methods? The first natural method is the rhythm method. So what is rhythm method actually? See, what happened in the menstrual cycle, we have seen the menstrual cycle have four phases. First phase is the menstruation, occur from first day to 4th, 5th day. Then from 4th, 5th day up to 14th day, this is the follicular phase. On the 14th day, ovulation has actually taken place, and after ovulation, the ovum reached the fallopian tube. This is the secretory phase or luteal phase. So what happened? In that menstrual cycle, if the time period is properly understood, then it is around 10 to 16th day. From 10th to 16th day, the process of ovulation took place, and if the process of this ovulation had taken place, then what happened? Then the ovum will reach to the fallopian tube. So in that time period only, this is a very unique thing, that before and after before, in the preparatory phase or follicular phase, there are no ovum. So in this case, what happened before and after, the possibility of fertilization is very much less. So that's why if somehow mating is stopped in between 10th to 16th day, then what happened before and after, the process of fertilization gets very much less. Before, suppose from first day up to 10th day, there are no ovum in the fallopian tube, and after 16th or 17th day, if the ovums are there in the fallopian tube, they get over ripened, and after that it starts to move towards the region of the fundus. So that's why what happened, if it is reaching to the site of the fundus, then also a lot of uterine changes are occurring in the uterine region and makes the environment unfavorable for the process of fertilization. So that's why after 16th day also, the process of fertilization, percentage of process of fertilizations gets very much less. So before and after, this is called a safe period. Only in between 10th, that means during the time of ovulation up to suppose some days. So that's why for proper measurement, we will take 10th up to 16th day. If in that time period the process of mating or sex has been prevented, then before and after, the process of fertilization, if the spermatozoa reach the site of fertilization, that is ampullary stemming region also, the process of fertilization possibility or the chances get very much less. So this is one method, natural method. Here there are no devices are being used. So this is known as rhythm method, or also we can call this is the safe period. So what is the safe period? This is the safe period and this is the safe period. In this time period, there is no ovum, and in this period, the ovum get over ripened. So that get over ripened, or it actually do not get fertilized. So only in that time period, if they avoid sex or mating, then before and after, the process of fertilization get very much less. So this is one type of natural method. See, this is rhythm method or safe period. Next type of method, this is withdrawal method. So what is withdrawal method? See, one more thing you should know, that withdrawal thing or the natural, all the types of natural method actually, they have some disadvantage too, that this is just the natural method. In that natural method, no one can be 100% sure that yes, this actually can properly prevent the process of fertilization. So that's why one should use this natural method, but it is not 100% sure. So in this next type, that is in the natural method, withdrawal method is one type of method where the male gamete are not allowed to be injected in the female tract. So just before ejaculation, the male genital is removed outside so that the semen cannot deposit into the female reproductive tract. So that's why what happened, the process of mating of male and female gamete will be very much less. But it is not also very much sure. Why? Because in the earlier time also, maybe it is possible that some of the spermatozoa can reach the site of female reproductive tract before ejaculation also. So in this withdrawal method, one method is used, that is avoid ejaculating in female tract. So in the female tract only, the male gamete is not allowed to be injected, or they are just removed just before ejaculation so that the male and female gamete do not even meet. So the last type of natural method, this is known as lactational amenorrhea. So what is lactational amenorrhea? This is one type of method where naturally the menstruation is stopped. When menstruation stops, actually whenever that female is normally within the reproductive cycle, a reproductive period from 12th to 16th day, 16th year, when she attains puberty up to her menopause, that is whenever the baby gets proper or intense milk. So what happens just after parturition, the baby starts to get milk, or the female body starts to produce milk. So up to 6 months after parturition, this time period is a intense milk or breastfeeding period. So in that time period, the two hormones, that are the oxytocin and prolactin, is very high. So these two hormones give a negative feedback to the pituitary, so that the pituitary will not release FSH and LH hormone. So if FSH and LH hormone do not release, then what happens? The process of follicular phase, that means inside the ovary, the ovum formation is getting very much less, or the ovum production will not even take place. So this is known as lactational amenorrhea. This is one natural method to actually give that female, or give that mother a time period, so that mother should get the physically mother should get the capability, or the uterus can get its own proper structure, get back. So in this lactational amenorrhea, up to 6 months after parturition, the process of menstruation stops. In that time period, the two hormone oxytocin and the another hormone, that is prolactin, that gives negative feedback to the FSH and LH, and in that time period the normal menstruation stops, or that menstrual cycle stops for around 6 months of period. This is known as lactational amenorrhea. So within that 6 months also, without taking any type of pill or any type of devices, the mother will not get pregnant once again. So this is known as lactational amenorrhea. But one thing is very much important: this time period can be extended only up to 6 months. After that, gradually the mother starts to produce less milk, and due to that time period, the level of hormones also start to get less. So that's why what happened, once again, maybe after 6 months or 7 months or 8 months, and before that also it is possible. This is depending on how much actually intensely or at what frequency the mother provide milk, or the breastfeeding had occurred. So if the mother stops feeding the baby within, suppose, 2 months or 3 months, then also the level of oxytocin and prolactin hormone decreases, and that's why within that time period, maybe it is possible that the mother gets the menstrual cycle once again. So only during intense breastfeeding, up to 6 months of period, the menstrual cycle or that menstrual period stops for a little that time period, that is 6 months. So these are the 3 types of natural method we have seen. Now just let's just move to the next type, that is barrier method. So after the natural method, let's just move to the next type of contraceptive method, is the barrier method. So barrier methods, these are nothing but the male and female gamete are not allowed to meet by just using some barrier or shield. So that type of devices, they will be used by the male and the female, both male and the female, and this is a process by which it may be 90 to 95% sure that meeting of male and female gamete will not take place, or implantation or pregnancy can be prevented. So the first type, that is condom. This is made up of the latex, that is rubber or latex. It is not made up of any plastics or any type of synthetic or artificial material. So that should be used by the male and this will prevent the entry of the sperm into the female tract. So one thing you should know, that this condoms that can be used by male as well as female too. If the female use that condom, that female condom is known as the fem shield. So this is a shield or a device that can actually cover the female tract so that the male gamete cannot reach the site of fertilization. So this condom and fem shield, these are the male condom and female condom. So that can be worn by the male and the female, and these are not only preventing the mating of male and female gametes, as well as it prevents lots of different varieties of sexually transmitted diseases. So that's why it's a very useful or very effective method of contraception. So this condoms and fem shields, these two are not only prevent fertilization, but also it prevents the different type of sexually transmitted diseases which can be led by both male and the female gamete. Both male and the female. Now the next three, there are diaphragm, cervical cap and valve cap. This should be used by only females. These are actually only the female devices. So these devices can be fit inside the female reproductive tract. See, suppose this is the uterus, this is the cervix region, and these are the external genitals. Now what is happening in case of diaphragm, cervical cap or valve cap, these are just tube or cap like structure which should be fitted here in the region of cervix or the upper and the lower cervix also, and these are acting like a covering or the barrier where actually it should be fitted in the region of the cervix or external genital or vagina. In that region, whenever this tube or that shit is actually taken, they have been used, then what happened, the male reproductive system, even the external genital will not able to actually reach, or they are not been open, so that the male gamete with semen will not able to reach the site of fertilization. So in this barrier method we have seen 5 types of barriers: the male condom, female condom, then diaphragm, cervical cap and the valve. In case of this 5 types, only the condoms are the male devices. Rest of the fem shield, diaphragm, cervical cap and the valve, they are the female devices. So these barrier methods, they are very much useful for the contraception point of view as well as the STDs too. Next one, see, the type or method of contraception is IUD. These are intrauterine devices. So IUD, this abbreviation is also very much important, as it is intrauterine device. This is only the female devices. So what are these devices actually? These are with the help of doctors or the nurses or the medical experts, the different type of devices are used, or they are been fitted inside the uterus. So what happened, those type of barriers, whenever it is been fitted inside the female reproductive system, then the whole environment for the proper fertilization process will be stopped, or maybe the male and the female gamete will not able to meet. So what are these? These are the different types. We categorize all of these IUDs into 3 categories. What are they? First one is the non-medicated. Non-medicated means here there are no type of medications or pills or injection with hormones are not used. One example is very much important, that is Lipaslow. Next type of IUD is copper releasing. So copper releasing devices, these are some devices that should be fitted inside the female reproductive tract, in suppose here in the uterus region. In the uterus region, whenever a metallic copper, the metal is used here, that is copper. So one copper device, that is a T-shaped structure device, is fitted inside the uterus. So whenever these are inserted inside the uterus, what happened? This copper, why this metal copper is used? Because this copper have this capacity to immobilize or inactivate the spermatozoa. So these copper devices will actually act like a spermicide. They will kill the spermatozoa, or the locomotion or movement of the spermatozoa is stopped. So this type of copper releasing devices, they are also not releasing any type of hormones. These are releasing actually copper ion. So those copper ion have the capacity to immobilize the spermatozoa. So that's why whenever the male or that male gamete with semen is suppose deposited in the cervix region, the male gametes are ascending upside to reach the site of fertilization. It cannot reach there. Why? Because that copper releasing device, suppose copper releasing devices, they will immobilize or completely kill the spermatozoa. So there are different varieties of copper releasing IUDs are available. What are they? Copper T. It look like a T, so that's why just simply copper T, copper 7 and multi-load 375. So these are the copper releasing devices. Last type of device, that is hormone releasing devices. See here in this IUDs, in a very small amount of the two hormones, estrogen and progesterone, or in just simply progesterone hormone, they're releasing in a very small amount whenever it is inserted inside the female reproductive tract. So once it is inserted inside the female reproductive tract, in a very small amount, the hormone estrogen and progesterone, or alone progesterone, is released in a very small quantity, so that the whole menstrual cycle, that is actually can be restricted, where the ovum formation cannot be taken place. So to make or to ensure that this type of hormone releasing devices are used. So there are different types of hormone releasing devices are available also. What are they? LNG20 and Progestasar. So this LNG20 and Progestasar, they will have some chemical or artificial or synthetic hormone, that is progesterone. That chemical progesterone is synthetic, it is artificial, or estrogen, both of them, that can be injected or inserted inside the female tract, so that whenever it releases this estrogen and progesterone hormone, it makes the uterine environment unfavorable for the process of fertilization, as well as it also an ovulatory in function. That means it will not allow ovum to actually reach the site of fallopian tube, or it completely stops the process of ovulation. So whenever it stops the process of ovulation, ovum will not even reach the site of fallopian tube. Or if suppose these hormone releasing devices are used, those hormone releasing devices will make the whole endometrium unfavorable. The mucus thickness will get more and more thicker, or it makes the environment hostile for the spermatozoa. Once the sperms are suppose inserted or deposited, the sperms will be killed or completely destroyed. So these are the three different types of IUDs. There are three categories available. One is hormone releasing, non-medicated, and copper releasing. Examples are very important. These have been asked in many questions, even in your boards also. Let's just move to the next type of contraceptive methods. Next type of contraceptive method is chemical method. In this chemical method, some type of chemicals are used which are very much harmful for the spermatozoa. So this type of chemicals basically are different type of acids like citric acid, lactic acid, potassium permanganate, zinc sulfate. This type of chemicals are used. So those type of chemicals that can be found in different forms like foams and jellies. You can see the different examples, like foam of cream is available, as well as the foam of tablets. So different type of examples are here. Foam creams are example, the Delphin, jellies, that is Perceptin, then Volper paste, then foam tablets are here, where aerosol foam, then chloramine or Contab. This type of foam or the jellies which can be found in cream form as well as in the tablet forms also. Some type of chemicals they are used. So this type of chemicals are very much actually harmful for the spermatozoa. So once these chemicals chemicals come in contact with this sperm, the sperms die. So these are used by the female in the female external genitals that are actually used. And whenever those type of ointment type of chemicals are used prior to the mating, prior to sex, then it can kill the spermatozoa once ejaculated. So these are some type of chemical method. After that, just see the next type of contraceptive method is oral contraceptive. So in the oral contraceptive, we have the combination of hormones. So first type of hormone is synthetic progesterone. So this synthetic progesterone is called as progestin. So progesterone alone or progesterone with another hormone, estrogen. So progestin and estrogens, these two combination, either only progestin or progestin and estrogen in combination, that can be taken by the female at a time period. It is actually a tablet, a number of tablets are here, 21 tablets are available, which are taken from the 5th day of menstruation up to 25th day. So whenever it is taken by the female, those actually chemicals, progestin and estrogen, and combination with progestin, this chemical will make the uterine environment unfavorable for the process of fertilization, or it completely stops the process of ovulation, so that there are no ovum form in the female tract. So that's why it can properly, it is very much sure and 99%, around 99% sure method by which the male and female gamete are not allowed to mate. So there are different type of pills are available. Combined pills are here like Mala D and Mala L. Next one, Milipil. One example is POP. And a very important another pill is available. What is that? Saheli. It's very much important. Why? Because you can see in the this combined pill or this Milipil, they contain the steroid hormone, that is progestin and estrogen. So these are the steroids, and steroids have harmful effect on the normal body physiology. So it can hamper the female in many ways. So that's why one type of non-steroidal pill are available now. They're developed by CDRI Lucknow. So CDRI is actually Central Drug Research Institute, which is situated in Lucknow, who develop one type of pill which do not have any hormones or any type of steroidal combination. So this is once in a week pill. In 1 week, first that one pill only is taken by the female. After before that, first of all, that female have to take 3 tablets twice a week, and after that in the next week she should take only one pill. So this is once in a week pill and non-steroidal, which was developed by CDRI Lucknow, Central Drug Research Institute. Remember, Saheli is very much important. This is also oral pill but do not contain any type of steroid. So steroid have harmful effect to actually decrease the side effects. A type of non-steroidal pills are available now. This is Saheli. Now after that, just see another type of contraceptive method is implant. See, those tablets, this oral contraceptive tablets have some side effects, and also there is a disadvantage that if the female forget to take the pill, then the whole process or how this tablets are working in the whole menstrual cycle, that can be completely changed. So that's why another type of method has been developed. These are implants. So implants are subcutaneously injected inside the body, just beneath the skin. These are implanted. So whenever these are implanted in a very small amount, the estrogen and the progestin, synthetic progesterone, that is released in the body via the blood, it will reach the site of meeting of male and female gamete, that is in the female reproductive tract. in that region it start to show its function, or it make the whole uterine environment unfavorable for the process of fertilization. So these are some implants available like Norplant. Norplant is important, as well as Implanon. So these are some implants which are subcutaneously injected, or surgically it is actually these devices that will be injected inside the body. So in a very small amount they will release the hormones. These are also those steroids, estrogen and progesterone, in a very small amount in the blood. Next type of method is emergency contraceptive. So what is happening, sometime due to sexual assault or rape cases, or due to unprotected sex, maybe it is possible that the female have not taken the oral contraceptive for that long period of time, if it is a married couple, or in those sexual assaults or rape cases, to the girl or to the female, this type of emergency contraceptive pills are provided. So these are morning pills, morning after pills. So first of all, on the after, that means after that incident, that is sexual intercourse, suppose after 24 hours it is taken in the next morning, or within 72 hours it is taken. So whenever it is taken, it readily completely destroy the zygote if it is formed, or it prevent also implantation. So some examples are here available, that is Ovidin, then mifepristone, important. So these are the different type of emergency contraceptive. Now next type is not a contraceptive method, it is actually surgical method. So surgical method by which the male and the female have to go through some surgeries. So in that surgeries, either in case of male, the vas deferens that are cut and tied, and in case of female, the fallopian tube is cut and tied, so that the male gamete, if it is produced even, the vas deferens is the site from where the male gamete will reach the site of accessory region and can come outside with semen. So male gamete, it will be produced, but with the semen, the male gamete will be not present. Similarly, in case of female also, the normal menstruation, the normal menstrual cycle will go on, but just the female gamete after ovulation, it will not able to go to the site of fertilization, that is the ampullary ischemic region. So the fallopian tube, as well as in case of male, if it is the vas deferens are cut and tied separately, and if it is possible in next time, surgical method is actually one permanent method, but nowadays it is also can be reversible too. That means nowadays it is just tied and plucked separately, so that in later, if suppose the couple needs to, or they want to get the fertility back, once again the cut fallopian tube or the cut vas deferens can be once again ligated. So this is one emergency method, or sorry, these are one type of surgical method, that is vasectomy if it is in case of the cut vas deferens in case of male, and tubectomy in case of fallopian tube in female. So these are the two surgical method. And another type of, it's not contraception, this is induced abortion. Actually this abortion is one method whereby just using some chemicals, if already implantation had taken place, or after suppose 2 or 3 weeks, then by using some type of pills, or some type of suppose tablets, if the female takes, then along with the endometrium, that implanted zygote or that blastocyst will also get shed along with the menstrual flow. So one type of drug is available here, that is RU486. This is very much important. This came in AIIMS, so this is a very important example. Remember, to induce abortion, one type of drug or one type of tablet is available, that is RU486. So there are different varieties of methods of contraception. We have seen natural method, barrier method, IUD. Then after that we have seen chemical method, oral contraceptive, implants, surgical method, induced abortion. This type of methods can be used by the male as well as the female partner, or any one of them, or both of them is not needed, any one of them, if suppose using this, then also naturally the process of fertilization will be prevented. So these are the different varieties of methods of contraception we have seen. In the next video we will see the MTP and the amniocentesis process. Thank you.